Hi, my name is Glow and welcome to my show. Bet you didn't know I was a firefly. Today I'm doing something a little different and reviewing an entire album instead of just one song. Today I'm reviewing Nicole Mullen's A Dream to Believe in Volume 2. Why Volume 2? Because I want to. So the album starts with an intro of a bunch of kids saying, "I have a dream." It's cute, but including that as a track as if it was a whole song seems a bit misleading. Still, it's better than including it at the beginning of the next song, making it harder to skip. The first real song is Look Like Me. It's one of several songs Nicole Mullen has about civil rights, and I think this favorite topic of hers comes from her experience of being a black woman who is married to and has kids with a white man. Anyway, the song points out other people that say things like, "we can't relate," and "what's the point of unity?" And the truth is anyone who says those things when it comes to racial issues is racist, whether they admit it or not. That being said, I don't think this song is meant to convince anyone they're wrong, not even someone who's on the fence. It's meant to make people feel empowered, and I think it succeeds at that, even if it doesn't reach the same highs as something like Blacklight or Freedom. This song sure does have a lot of quotes from other sources in it, even if they are sometimes slightly reworded or repurposed. A Rose is Still a Rose by Any Other Name can't really have originally been about American racism, though red, yellow, black, and white, we are all precious, precious, precious in his sight, and I Have a Dream certainly are. It can feel like this song is nothing but words lifted from other places, though. I'm guessing the line, "I believe in dying for the things that I believe," will either make you want to roll your eyes or want to clap. I want to clap, but I can completely understand why some people have the opposite reaction. This song is just repetitive enough that it'd be pretty boring if the music weren't so good. I just want to play air guitar during that guitar solo. The whole song is designed to get an "oh yeah" reaction, and it does that for me, but I'm guessing if it doesn't for you, you'll probably hate it. Or at least think it's pretty mediocre, and I can understand why. Yo Mama. Goodness, that title is misleading. I'd like this song more if it weren't for my dislike of crying. Although, the song isn't that sad, it's just that anyone who fits this exact description for me didn't stay in my life that long. The music is beautifully simplistic, and that makes up for how repetitive this song gets. Typically, I would complain about the lack of specific details, but I get the sense that this song was written to be intentionally vague, so that as many people as possible could relate to it. It's a celebration of role models in general just as much as the role model it was specifically written about. The line, "and the only reason I have something good inside of me that I can give is yo mama did," is what makes me think it's a celebration of role models in general. They all pass on what they can. Overall, it's an okay song. Feel Like I'm in Love. I kinda hate the line about romance novels. I mean, at the end of the day, they are fiction. From what I hear, usually not even very good fiction. And wanting to reach ideals that don't even exist just distracts people from their actual accomplishments. But I guess Nicole Mullen is a dreamer. This song does paint her husband in a pretty good light because of how responsive he is. I mean, the only time in the entire song when he even tries to dismiss her concerns is with the romance novel comparison that I just mentioned. It's the pre-chorus lines, "Now tell me what I can do, girl, to let you know my love is true," that make him seem responsive and caring. If anything, Nicole seems like the bad guy here. I mean, it seems unclear what exactly she actually wants. She does state pretty clearly that she wants to sing and dance together, but the line, "I want to feel like I'm in love," makes it seem like she's asking for more than just that. My guess would be Nicole is trying to say she just wants to spend more time with her husband, but the song doesn't make that clear enough for me to say for sure, and because of that, the song mostly comes off as her whining. And what do the words "my volume to reality" mean? I honestly don't know. I could guess she's trying to say that they're at the exciting part of the romance novel, that she sees their relationship as, but that is just a guess, and I'm not even sure it's a good guess. Overall, this song is catchy and not much else. Still a dream. This song is cheesy, but I love cheese. The piano intro is interesting. It hits just the right balance of peaceful and exciting for this song. "Someday We'll Open Our Eyes" is a great opening line. Again, if you don't mind how cheesy it is. It's almost like the classic Once Upon a Time opening to a story. It's compelling, and it implies that the song is about something important by pointing out how the world could change in the future. All of the transitions into the chorus are also great. The line, "We can be the Father's hands," is my favorite because it communicates that God won't magically fix everything. We need to do something if we want the world to get better. That's why I think everyone should volunteer at least a tiny bit. That isn't even the only way to help out a cause, though. Raising awareness helps too, and us Christians specifically could help out by admitting that other religions should be allowed to exist. When I say cheesy, I mean it. This song is riddled with cliches. What the world needs now is love. Give love a chance. Show the world. And that's all before the second verse. I don't even think just Christians around the world being in harmony is possible, especially because of all the harmful beliefs Christianity has been used to justify, such as supporting slavery, not supporting human rights, and prosperity being a stand-in for holiness. But if you can mostly forget about that, this song is very pleasant. I like the line, "There is still a dream, 'cause everyone needs one. No one is freed from the worries of life that drag us down." I'm glad that was acknowledged. This is what I think is missing when I say something in a song is too positive or unrealistic. I just want the dark realities to be pointed out, even if it's just in passing. The song ends with, "We can show the world," encouraging people to actually do something. I love cheesy, so I love this song. I also totally get why some people don't, though. "Treat her like a lady." I'm not sure what some of the lines of this song are supposed to mean. They sound like cheesy Valentine's Day poems that are trying to be deep. For example, "Lonely flower in a desert." In a desert, wouldn't a water source be more precious? And the line that says, "the best of masculinity," seems to be trying to subvert the idea that only women are interested in love, but the song doesn't do anything with that setup. But my favorite line is, "Here is where you prove that love is strong enough." It's my favorite because it helps me understand what the whole song is trying to say, because the line before it uses the word hear, H-E-A-R. It's clear that being a good listener and improving yourself while you're in a relationship is what makes love so noble. I don't really like all the comparisons to kings and queens in the song. For example, the line, "Love is for noble kings of royalty." I know that's supposed to be a Bible reference, but it also sounds like only special people deserve love. Also, the word royalty doesn't really need to be there. Noble does, because not all kings are, but all kings are royal, and the word royal isn't even rhymed with anything. If you're going to add extra words to a song, they need to have some kind of purpose. The line, "Treat her like a queen," also seems to reinforce the idea that women are somehow below men. It's a small thing, but it seemed worth pointing out. The line, "Like she was your mama's baby," is just plain creepy. I know it's trying to say respect her and don't have sex before you're married, but even the subtle suggestion of a brother and sister dating is gross. It really should have been worded differently. The words, "treat her like a lady," get across the same ideas without the disgust. I like the confidence Nicole has in her son when she changes "treat her like a lady" to "I know you'll treat her like a lady," and then she says, "She will love you like a king, a king, a king, and that's what you are." Overall, this is an example of a single line ruining a song for me. Please don't even subtly imply incest if you want your lighthearted song to be enjoyable. "Forever You Reign." It's a boring but catchy sounding church worship song. Moving on. "Brainwash." Haha, okay, I will say a bit more about "Forever You Reign" than that. I'll start by giving an example of how generic it is by pointing out the line, "When life is beautiful and new, when I've lost everything but you." So in other words, worship God in both good and bad times. That's a unique idea I've heard 100 times before, like in Rend Collective Counting Every Blessing, King and Country's Shoulders, and Danny Gokey's The Comeback, just to name a few. This got me thinking about whether or not worship songs, as in the kind people sing in church, that is, can ever be meaningful. On their own, I mean. Worship songs might be meaningful to a single person because that person wants to hear anything that might connect them with God, but that doesn't make the song itself meaningful. Details are what makes songs, or more specifically song lyrics, deep, and worship songs are usually written to appeal to basically every Christian on earth. And if that's the way artists keep writing them, then I don't think the songs themselves ever will be meaningful. But if you look at it another way, I think they can be. If artists write about their own religious experiences, like the moment they got saved for one, and churches started singing songs like that, I think those songs would have a much better chance of connecting to people who aren't already invested. You know, songs like Matthew West, Next Thing You Know. I'm not sure everyone would call those worship songs, and I'm even more uncertain that churches would ever play them, though. Now, for real, Brainwash. This would be great music to dance to. I like it. Although mentioning MySpace really dates this song. The lyrics are pretty generic. They do get across the feelings of being overwhelmed and feeling guilty for not being able to get everything done, but there aren't really any specific examples in this song. That being said, I still can't help pointing out how incredibly relatable the line "smack dab in the front of my mind, all that I've done wrong, replay and rewind" really is. It's a very simple song, but if you don't count that as a negative, it's a great song to turn on and dance to. Start Over Again. The music is nice and calming. This is a great song about marriage, and there are even a few specific details in it. It's about a lover's spat that gets a little out of hand. It is really mature when the person who didn't initiate the fight is the one apologizing and asking for forgiveness in the lyrics. And I said some things out of spite, and so I should apologize, and now I ask please if you could forgive me. Another both positive and realistic part of the song is Rome wasn't built overnight. Love like ours gonna take some time until what we have dreamed is our reality. It has a good balance between real relationships taking work and amazing things being achievable. My favorite line is, "No matter how hard I try, I miss the laughter." Because you know it's real love when you miss someone even while you're mad at them. I like how the song ends with the same lyrics it began with, because it means things like this will keep happening, but they'll get through it. All in all, this is a pretty great song. Blessed and Broken. This song starts with a recording of children saying what they dream of being, which barely fits the theme of this song, and even if it did fit the theme perfectly, it's exactly the kind of thing that makes me wish I had Spotify Premium so I could fast forward through it. This song actually seems to be saying that feeling awful is a good thing and is the only way you know you're on the right path as a Christian. It's also a big reference to the Jesus feeds 5,000 Bible story, but this song doesn't seem to have the same message about having faith in hard times until everything gets better as the Bible story it is based on does. Yeah, lines like "when he held it and broke it, 'cause only then it multiplied" keep me from being able to fully enjoy this song, especially because at the end Nicole replaces the word "it" with "me," which makes the bad message much more obvious. Being broken isn't a good thing, and it's overcoming obstacles that build character, not the obstacles themselves. Even though I realize that horrible message was almost certainly not intentional. But the music is fine, just fine. That isn't nearly enough to keep me from thinking this is a bad song, though. Work With Me, Dance. This is just a song to turn on in the background and maybe dance to. If that's what you're looking for, listen to it. If not, don't. That's really all I have to say about it. I think overall, this album is very average. Start Over Again is my favorite song on it, but even that song isn't flawless, and Treat Her Like a Lady is my least favorite, but even that song isn't completely horrible. Most of the other songs are about average. What did you think of this album?